Hey, this is Joe from SoFly, and in this video, we are going to export WooCommerce orders to Google Sheets using WP All Export. So over here, I have an export that I've already created. And you can see here I have all of the columns set up, and we can preview it. And that's how my export's going to look. Then over here, I have more data that I can drag and drop in, such as orders. Over here, this is all of my order data that I have. And then over here, I have all of my customer data related to the person that made the purchase. And then down here, I have my order item information. So this is all of the information related to the product that was purchased, such as the price, the stock, total sales. We have our taxonomies for the product, any custom fields. So if you have a WooCommerce extension that's adding some sort of functionality or data that's stored in custom fields for your products, that's going to be here. And then we have our product attributes like product color and product size. And then down here in the advanced section, just some more information like the shipping dimensions and things like that. Stock status, etc. Next up, we have our tax and shipping information for the order. Below that, we have our fees and discounts, notes related to the order over here, any refunds if they happened, partial refunds or full refunds. Custom fields for the order are over here. And then down here we have just other information related to the order, like the order version and tax classes and things like that. And finally, if we had ACF over here, adding any ACF information to our orders, that would be down in this section. So we just simply drag and drop over here. So for example, if I wanted to add the order key, I can just add it in like that. Just drag and drop it in and we're good to go. So we can get rid of that. And then up here, I have my filtering options. So let's say I want to filter these by billing state. So we can say billing state equals CA. And you can see here we have 5,000 orders. When we add our rule, this is going to be updated. Now we have 623 orders because that's how many are in California. Okay. And then down here, we have some more information. If we wanted to export this to Excel or something like that, or to XML, this is where we would take care of that. For our purposes, CSV is fine because that works with our Google Sheet. Okay, so we'll update our template. Now, our last export had 5,000 orders created, right? Because we didn't have that filter. So if I run this again, this is going to have 600 orders. But let's leave this for now. Okay. So next up, what we need to do is we need to hook this up to Zapier so that way we can replace this sheet in Google Sheets with all of my export data. So to do that, we'll go over here to Zapier and we'll select Create Zap. And now for our trigger, we're going to use WP All Export. Right over here. And our event is going to be new export file. So every time that this export is completed and a new export file is created, this Zap is going to run. It's going to trigger. All right, we'll continue. Now, I've already linked my site over here. The way that works is if it wasn't linked already, we'd go into settings. We pull in our API key and then the site domain name. We go back over here to Zapier and we hook it up. We have some videos on this. We have documentation on it. You can also read how to do this on the Zapier site's documentation. So if you get lost, you have plenty of help. We'll continue. And now we're going to test our trigger. And there we go. So this was our most recent export. You can see here we have 5,700 and something orders that were exported. And we'll continue with the selected record. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hook this up to Google Drive. So we go over here, we'll select Google Drive. Our event is going to be replace file. Now we don't want to do upload file. If we did upload file, every time we run our export, it's going to create a new spreadsheet in Google Sheets. We don't want that. We want to replace our current sheet. So it always has the most up-to-date information. Okay, so replace file, we'll continue. And we'll choose our account. Again, I've already linked to my account. Linking your account with into Google Drive, pretty straightforward. Plenty of documentation on that, plenty of videos if you need some help with it. All right, and then for Drive, we're going to select My Google Drive, No Folder, File to Replace. We're going to select Order Sheet right here. And the file, we're going to select our export file. Exists, but not shown. There we go. Convert to document. Yes. We will tell Google to convert this to an editable document. So what's actually going to happen is this is going to be uploaded to Google Drive and then converted to an editable document in Google Sheets, which is exactly what we want. For file name, we're going to call this Order Sheet. If we left this blank, it's going to use the file name from my WPL export, and that's a little bit messy. So I just want to use Order Sheet over here. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Okay, and we'll continue and we'll test our step. And as soon as this is done, it's going to update this sheet over here with all of our information. All right, let's check it out. And there we go. So there's our whole export, and we can see if we scroll all the way down here to the bottom, all the way down at the bottom, we have our 5,759 orders that have been put into Google Sheets. So now what we want to do is we want to go back in to Zapier. We want to save this. So we want to call this Order Sheet Update. That's what I'll name my Zap. We'll publish this. Then over here, we can see it's on. Close out our settings over here. Now we're going to go on. Now we're going to run this. Now remember, I set up my filter, right? So when I run this export, we're only going to have 600 of these, and it's only going to be my orders from California. So we'll go over here to run export. We're going to get 623 orders, and as soon as this is completed, it's going to update this sheet over here. Okay, so this will take a few minutes. We'll let it run, and we'll come back when it's finished. Okay, our export is complete. So let's check out our export over here. Scroll down, see how many we got. And there we go. 624 rows, which is, with our header row, that's 623 orders. And we're good to go. That is all of our exported data. So every time this export runs, it's going to be updating this sheet with the latest version of our export file. We can set this up, with scheduling over here. So we can set this to run, for example, every Monday at midnight. And then we can set it to export orders only once. So we would do that over here. So we can select export orders only once. And then we can go in here to automatic scheduling every week at midnight. So with this combination of settings right here, every week this export is going to run. It's going to export only the orders that were created in the last week. And it's going to update this sheet. Over here in Zapier, we can go in here. And remember, replace file, we can change just to upload file. So then that way we just get a new spreadsheet added to Google Sheets once a week. And then every week we just have a spreadsheet with all of the last week's orders in it. And then in Zapier, we can go over here, we can add another action to then email the link to that file. So then every week we get a link emailed to us to Google Sheets with all of our orders in the last week. And you can do this in just a few minutes, pointing and clicking. Very simple, very powerful. And this is just like one of the hundreds of things that you can do when you combine WPL export with Zapier. And actually, it's thousands of things. With Zapier, they have integrations with over 5,000 apps. And you can also just send that data to an API. So you can integrate your WPL export data with literally anything else on the internet. If they have an API or if they're on Zapier, you can connect it with WPL export. So I highly recommend you check out Zapier in a little bit more detail. Check out our YouTube channel, check out our documentation. We have a lot of videos on this. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon.